Hey everybody, welcome back to sorry, dang, it's done lunchtime with Silverfang so long. Welcome back to Weekends with Silverfang. I'm Ace Silverfang. And we're doing, once again, Ace Attorney. Sorry for the delays. Making plans with friends is always difficult because every time you make plans ahead of time, they all of a sudden have last-minute things all the time that they forgot about. Now, I know what that sounds like, but it's not like all of them. It's always one or two of them. And never the same ones. So it's always juggling things. Ah, man, why can't everyone just go, oh yeah, I have things that are going on these days? Anyway, welcome back to Finish Wright, Ace Attorney. Trials and Tribulations. Almost said Justice for All. That's not what we're on. We're on the third game. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. We last left off, if I can remember correctly. We got my client off of theft, and now he's convicted of murder by our very own alibi we established. So now we have to convince everybody that he didn't actually kill the guy. Were we in? Yeah, we were in trial. I thought so. We're in trial right now. So let's do this. And talk to the next witness. Cola. Okay. October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. My sis? Oh, right, I had a vision of her sister. I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive. Inside your heart. Nicky boy! Oh, Mr. Light. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? We don't really know much about Kane Bullard. Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. We know next to nothing about the victim, which is part of the problem. If we knew a connection between the victim and Detective Atme, it'd be a lot easier to establish motive. October 14th, 12:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. Now then. I gotta get back in character. Now then. Dang it, not the right voice. Now then. This court is back in session. There we go, that's closer. I'll get there. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. Yeah. Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name Mask Damas. I'm sorry. I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask?
Indeed, it is truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. It's been right in front of us this entire time. Oh my gosh, these guys are evil geniuses. They've been flaunting the key evidence in front of us this entire time. See what I mean? Right here. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. This letter is not to my client. It's to @me. It's got to be. So if you continue to insist that you are in fact Master Mask... Oh, so you continue to insist you are in fact Master Mask. Of course.
Very well then, you ask me. Let us begin with a simple question. On October 12th, at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at the time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks, I think.
Alright, Mr. Abney. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder.
It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo in the crime scene.
Everything else, up until now, was all a part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atney, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. And I'll prove it! I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. Oh, and the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask, yeah. That is why I am called Master Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is.
What do you mean?
Objection!
Ha! Are you saying that this is not, in fact, Luke Atney? Yeah, his nose cannot possibly fit in that mask. Sorry, it's way too long. He's such a liar. That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Master Mask to create an alibi. Ho ho! What an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? I want to say no, because I know he didn't have an accomplice. I think he had convenience. Because the question still remains, why steal something that has no monetary value? It has historical, cultural, and sentimental value, but it's not monetarily valuable. He got the job to guard the urn before the guy was killed. I got a suspicion. Who that was that kid who secured during the murder. And the master mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had an accomplice. Now remember you said that, Mr. Wright. Because there's no going back. If you're making baseless claims, I'll treat you to a penalty myself. That penalty's probably boiling hot, too. So who is it, Mr. Wright? Who was the accomplice? If he's saying this person, it's wrong. Although, we do want to see him get covered in coffee, so... That's quite the prank you're trying to pull. Do you have any evidence that this person is in fact the accomplice? Well... The aura! The aura around this person has... The aura that this person has around them. If you were going to judge someone by their aura, you would be right up there as suspect number 1, Mr. Wright. I jumped the gun on that one. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna low back and just say no. I had a hunch that would happen. Give it up. You tell me was at KB security during the murder. Then the master mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice. But right now I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. Yeah, that's true. He does want baseless accusations. We saw that. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. But that's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. Marcy, you truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Yes, very. Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here? Is that correct? Indeed it is! That is it! The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
Objection!
He was simply... he was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life truly is an ironic thing. A sad, blue melody. Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. Yup. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same as the murder. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now! It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor. And on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately, for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. It looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false? It has to be. Or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullet at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. It was stealing the urn. Yep, I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called Master Mask. But conveniently, that also means there's no way to tell who it really is. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, that was it? I'm going through the same stuff again. I gotta look at my evidence again. From the mask's second eyes on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Buzzer went off at 102. Okay, if Master Mask... Sorry, the real Master Mask was being directed by a mysterious benefactor and blackmailer on how and what to steal via blackmail. Then... Wait a minute. The stain is there. This is the problem. The stain is right here. This is where the box landed. The problem is... the box... well, the box isn't covered in paint. But he didn't take the box with him anyway, because the box is on the ground. He did get the urn. But the question is, who is this? I know I'm just stating the obvious. I'm just trying to puzzle through this. Because it does look like, I need to say, he had an accomplice. But I have no idea who the accomplice could have been. The only other person who looks like the picture could be of is Desiree Delight, but I can't prove it because I don't have the right blackmail letter. This one said to come there and bring money. Oh, crud. I think I just realized what the murder weapon was. I think it was this. Blackmail letter said to go there. Okay, back to the photo. What's the secret in this photo? They've been hinting multiple times that whatever it is, my answer is in this photo.
I've got a crazy idea. Wait, no. Hold on. I gotta get to the point where he goes, huh?
Objection!
Okay, here we go. Save. Name the accomplice. My crazy idea is... Haha! That's quite the prank you're trying to pull. Evidence that this person is in fact the accomplice. No, okay, so it's not even gonna let me do evidence. I forgot about that. It wants me to do the exact person. And I have to be right. I think this is... Yeah, that's a red herring. I think guessing who done it is a red herring. I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a red herring. But now I have to find actual evidence. I mean, let's just try this. They're exactly related, Your Honor. I don't care that you can't see it. He said the picture, and I pointed to the picture and said objection. That should be very straightforward. This is an obtuse one, isn't it? Nope. Because the statue was moved. I was wondering if that was the clue. Because it's starting to look like this is going to be one of those obtuse ones where you got to make a really big leap in logic. Nope. Hmm. Dang it. I really can't figure this one out. I might be out of ideas. Was it this? Okay. I'm a little stumped. And nature's calling me. So I'm gonna give this a little ponder, and we'll be right back. In about 2 minutes. BRB. Okay, everyone. I'm back. And I was mulling over what I did in past cases whenever I got stuck. I was like, okay, what do I do? What have I done before? One answer occurred to me. And that is, once I've gone through the testimony, we go through it again. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. It was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That means you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. Yes, hold on. I have an idea for this. Haha! Hold up, that's not easy. That is indeed unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, hold on. That was different, wasn't it? Hold up. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna start that again just to make sure I can actually get all that again. Because that's... That changed everything, yeah. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very... Yep. Indeed it is. Oh, dang. Back in the voice. Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night.
Very well, let's hear what you have to say.
What about this photograph
Do you find funny?
This right here! The funny part is right here.
Why, this is a blood stain! Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. The stain is actually a pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that.
From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Yes, Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in the picture instead of the paint stains? Any face gold statue?
The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue should be the perfect size, would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue would have been there. Objection! But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally?
Your Honor, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy.
It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Huh. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
It would not have been... Wait. Crud, I didn't save! It would not have been Adrian. He wasn't there. I can't prove she was there. And we're trying to prove he wasn't there. But like Phoenix said, not who moved it, but why. I think Look At Me did move it in order to make it look as the picture that was taken previously. He had to set the stage again. The one who moved the statue is none other than Look At Me. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions.
Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions?
It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue?
The reason can be found here in this photograph. It doesn't say a date. Yeah, look at that. It says a timestamp, but there's no date. Look at me. You pretended to be Master Mash to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue.
A single fatal flaw?
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this certain fatal flaw exist? Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atby went to KB security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time.
But what does that have to do with the statue being moved?
Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was the statue placed beside the warehouse door?
Well,
the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. And was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atby had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took his picture days before the murder took place.
What the?
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse. Wait. That is horrible grammar. I'm gonna rephrase that so it's proper grammar. Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse. Period. You don't need that second yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atby must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atby had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Ah! Hold on. Yeah, what would his gua be? I'm gonna do it several more times, since he's my murder suspect. Gua! There we go, that might be more. Gua! That's closer. I'm gonna have to go through a few more of those in my spare time.
Order! Order! Mr. Atby, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor.
Have you forgotten this? What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data.
Ah! Order! Order! Mr. Mado, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down!
My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think it's got its points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is cup number 12. That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true. What does that have to do with anything?
No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor! Hey, Mr. Damask.
Yes?
If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. the Sacred Urn Heist. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and Zvari! It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave.
Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Zvari! Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Something tells me there are mistakes. The Sacred Urn Heist cross-examination. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago.
Hold it!
You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right?
Indeed. It seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation.
I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. Poor Maya.
The urn was placed in a box, and Zvari! It was sent to the warehouse.
You mean this box?
Yes, that pathetic box.
Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn. And she wouldn't let anyone enter the store. Not even me. Huh. Interesting new tidbit. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before?
Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm yourself.
My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, look at me. Let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. You mean this calling card?
That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card.
I guess Mr. Light didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. Oops. This one. Then no one entered the basement warehouse? Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. That's important. The judge is thinking about that one. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey, Nick, if this photo's a fake, Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. No one saw it after she put it in there. That's very true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove it in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. Well, she dropped the urn almost immediately after getting it, and then fixed it so it was proper. So, hold on. There's a couple ways I could prove it. Nope. Well, because one way to prove it is I show him the, oh wait, no, I show him the, jeez. If I show him the broken urn and he says, yes, that's it. That might be all it takes. I just need to prove that he saw it ahead of time. Okay. I'm not seeing something clearly here. I've got the poster. He moved this. I already established that. That's secret, but of course he could easily reproduce it. One off, but the data could easily be altered. Photo of storeroom entrance taken by the camera on the night of the crime. Or at least taken on some night. Written with a... No, not that. Not that either. Shot of master mask, striking a pose. That's not gonna help me. First heist. That. I'm trying to think about it. The box doesn't have any paint on it in the picture, but it does have paint, which means... But it was fixed and stolen after it was fixed. Nope, not that. I mean, even Phoenix said I need to take a long, hard look at the evidence. So... No. Okay. Last I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. This is what I have to prove is false. That he held the urn before that time. But how do I establish that? Treasures of Kurain. Why do I feel like this is the key? No. My brain hurts. Okay, let me go through everything again. No, wait, no, not that. I knew. There. That's all still the same. This box, a pathetic box. And the storeroom, even me. Interesting exhibit. So even he couldn't get into the storeroom. That's the problem, though. It's definitely Adrian Andrews. rather, what I mean is, because she wouldn't let anyone in, I have to prove that somehow he still got in. And she did say that she didn't let anyone in after she put it there. Wait. Hold the phone. He just said people that were going in for 5 days. However, okay, so it's definitely this one. Except for this is the spot. Because for a period of 5 days, people were going in and out. For a period of 5 days. I don't get it. He says that right there clearly. For a period of 5 days, people were going in and out of the warehouse. People were going in and out of the warehouse for 5 days. That's a 5-day window he could have gotten in. I don't get it. What is it? Ah! My brain! Okay, there has to be something where that's just obvious that we're missing, right? It's gotta be obvious. He said that for 5 days, people were going in and out, so... he said that right here. No one in the basement warehouse hesitated. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. And the judge says, So what is it? What is the answer? And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed, to be honest, even if the photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. This photo's a fake. If Atman might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. To prove that he's lying there. Okay. Well before the actual night of the crime. I'm gonna go back through everything again. Shouldn't allow him to see it. He can only focus on the entrance. 10 days. Calling card. It was the calling card, of course, because they said the calling card. Mr. Atme, if you really are Master Mass, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Oh, right. It does describe it in the card. Clever. Well hidden. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? But so what? That's more what he would say. But so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke very funny, Mr. Wright. The day the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error. Or should I say, an error-prone human. Ah! And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. You can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. That was a lot of G's. So many G's. G's whiz. G's whiz. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? All right, I did it. He's broken. Nick? I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh? Huh. It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mass. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point. Now, yeah. That's a good point.
No way! Don't fall for that too, Your Honor!
You say that Lugat was the one who killed King Bullard? Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point.
Motive, Mr. Wright. Motive! Might you my merry, murderous motive manifest?
I almost didn't get through that one. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick! He's getting his second wind!
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, detective?
Indeed.
According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. I'm doing everything I can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this might be our only chance. Motive for murder.
I, Luke Acme, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever.
King Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail medal. Yeah. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant?
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What?
Blackmail letter updated in the court record. Written by Bullard. Makes sense. It's all coming together.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
Motive for murder. Had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever.
And who in the world is going to prove that?
I will.
After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and Kane Bullard,
we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report.
Perhaps they were connected to their work. They were both involved in security.
Nope.
That was blunt.
In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. King Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was.
Mistook?
That's right. Mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error.
I didn't know it was Old Norse.
Wasn't what I meant.
Just who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be?
Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course.
Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Press harder!
Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask? Don't you already know that?
Zvari! Take a look at this newspaper!
Crud. He has it too.
Oh! Oh! That's the famous Tear of Amon! A magnificent jewel! That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly god, namely the defendant. The defendant? The victim clearly misread this article and... Zvari! He got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mass. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rhonda Light. You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says, bring $50,000. And the handwriting is, without a doubt, the victim's. There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere. An addressee? This letter was discovered in Rhonda Light's apartment. And Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant. I wonder... What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if the blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? There it is! I said this at the beginning of the stream! Yes! He mentioned it earlier at the beginning of his testimony. The beginning of the trial. His red diamond ring. Whoa! Do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Yes, there is absolutely something not right about it. Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied? So we need to go back to, it was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rhonda Light. That's the one. Yeah, blackmail letter. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. What do you mean by that? Oh my, I'm certain you were already aware. Zvari! KB Security has lots of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was the security team chief, I stole data from the company. Kane Bullard had yet to forgive young Mr. Delight, which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief. Here's a file that we discovered in Mr. Bullard's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullard was receiving money through blackmail. However, this is a bit odd. Why did the defendant pay Mr. Bullard the money, even though he wasn't actually Master Mask? Yes, this is so strange. That guy's voice is always... I don't know why I gave him that voice originally, because it fits him, but it's hard for me to maintain. Well then. So strange. Oh no. So strange. S's and R's are really hard with him. On that point, there was an unfortunate bit of chance. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. Do you really think that story is going to hold up? That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid. What do you mean? I have here a memo from Rhonda Light's wife, Desiree Delight. What? Ronnie thinks he's Master Mask. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him. Well, Mr. Wright, trying to act like Mr. Light just now? I thought he was actually pretty convincing. I don't. Very unconvincing. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. Now that's just your own imagination talking. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction. The result of carefully applied reasoning. Can we hear that careful reasoning for ourselves? It's a long story and better saved for another time. Very well, another time. The so-called long stories aren't usually all that long. Or at least not in my experience. Yeah. So you're going to try to connect Detective Atme to Mr. Bullard, right? Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. What? In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail. That's true. Was the blackmail letter really intended for Ron? No, it was not. Since we don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony. Maybe I'll be able to shake some contradictions loose that way. Hold on. Been a while. I feel like I should save right now, just to be safe, in case this sends me down a rabbit hole. I'll make a mistake. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You want to talk? At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. This is not a time to fist fight. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior? You're younger than me! Indeed. Time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradiction. The contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. How? Ha! A little 2-1 punch like that wouldn't even faze me. I think you mean 1-2 punch. Mr. Wright, try thinking things through a little more before finding fault with others. With others. I didn't get to save close enough, so I'm just going to save right here. It's alright. We made it really far in the trial. I can sacrifice a point. Or 2. Ouch. I should have felt that punch, Your Honor. Anyway, let's try reading the blackmail letter one more time. There's gotta be something off about it somewhere. Very well, let us please do this. Oh, dang it. Really? Okay, hold on. Before I go in there... I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I wanted to read that, but I guess we're going forward. Try this again. Read the letter. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. This is how he decided when to steal the urn, and how to fake the picture. And how he knew when he was going to be killing the guy. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. How am I supposed to present the red diamond? It's not on my evidence list.
This is not what I expected. I'm so confused. Because I know what the contradicting evidence is. $50,000. There's not a lot in here. Dang it. I thought it might be that because he mentioned it before, and it's like, well, why would he be asking for more money? Why would he be asking for only $50,000 when he's been blackmailing somebody for a lot more? Or was he? Maybe. Maybe that's it. Hold on. Skip. Skippity skip right now along. Skippity all day. There we go. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, The color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
Red?
Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon. That Master stole at all. Yeah, that was horribly red. I'll move on and read better now.
And what is your point, Mr. Wright?
So you are trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Wright? That is what you want. Yeah, that is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kane Bullard is actually blackmailing. Was actually blackmailing. Kane Bullard's not blackmailing anyone anymore. Naturally. It was you, Detective Atme.
Do you have some sort of basis for that claim?
You have been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one... Oh, no. Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring! And... That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you! Ah!
Order! Order in the court! Order, I say! It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Wright.
Uh-oh. I don't like the way you said that.
Kane Bullard, blackmailing Luke Atme? Are you for real?
Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep secret. So just what was that identity?
Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atme wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as... an... an ace detective! Luke Atme was an ace detective! Thank you for the kind introduction. I am Luke Atme, ace detective. Ace detective! One embodies the nefarious forces of darkness, the other the angelic cherubs of light. I am completely lost. Someone give me a translator.
But anyway, everyone already knows you're an ace detective.
Well, clearly it wasn't that. Clearly I was wrong. Oh, dang. Who'd have thought I'd be wrong? Master Mask, the exact guy I'm trying to prove you're not. Look at me. Was Master Mask. What? That's my line. What's that supposed to mean? That's my line too. Listen up, you. This is what you've been saying up to this point in time. The witness pretended to be Master Mask in order to pin the murder on the defendant. In which case, you'll want to insist up to and beyond the day you die that Rondelite was in fact Master Mask. I must say, this sudden change of heart doesn't reflect well on you. Just the silence, like, no. The identity that Luke Atme wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer! Luke Atme was a blackmailer!
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Luke Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Rondelite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes. Just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Rondelite was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme! Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you? That's impressive. I admit, that is impressive. Like, he hasn't done anything impressive with his deductions. Like, you just go, yeah, that's obvious. That's obvious too. That's obvious. This one, that Phoenix's report cards always said that. That's impressive. Unless Luke Atme looked at his report cards from grade school. You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Rondelite? In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Rondelite started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Rondelite was Master Mask? I really wish I could give him the costume, but that's not in my evidence log. I'm pretty sure he found the costume. No, crud. I should have saved. I have almost no evidence from the first crime. Except for that newspaper clipping. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief, trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. I think this is the right one. I'm going to save right now. It has a picture of you and Rondelite in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron the Light. Well, not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud. Trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. You, how dare you expose me like that? Wow, we really did expose him. I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You are a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you? How dare you even? Holy jeez! I can't even read this. Say none of you can compare to my genius. That's not even late English. What is being? Ah, jeez. So he went absolutely insane and spoke as fast as Wendy Oldbag. Sorry, I believe it's pronounced Wendy Oldbag.
It would seem we've finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. That was insanity personified.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme.
I was gonna say, we still have some unanswered questions. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright.
What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lord Lee Taylor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he was the one who killed Mr. Bolt. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way!
Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough. Mr. Trice, I want to hear your answer, though. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security, and the defense can prove it! The defense can prove it! With evidence!
Are you sure?
Huh. Don't you worry, I'll watch over you as you break down and fall to pieces.
Very well. Then let's see this proof. Proof that Luke Atme was at KB Security that night.
Yeah, sure, got it. I've got total proof. Yeah, I got all the proof in the world. Yeah, it's like right here in my pocket. 1 second. No, just where is it? 102. Black man. Okay, yeah.
This is the proof! Ha-ha! I knew it! That is the murder weapon! It's true. That is very important. However, I'm not so foolish as to think that we'll pass for evidence here. Mr. Wright, it's time you learned the true flavor of life. Ah! The flavor of my special Godot blend number 49. Well, Mr. Wright?
It's bitter. Very bitter. Okay. Come on, Nick, don't give up now. Dude. Actually, I'm gonna save right here. I'm gonna see what happens if I can't prove it. I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
But if we hear more of Detective Atmey's testimony, unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. Do you have that right? What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atmey is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder! I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict of master mask. No! Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Rhonda Lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Order! Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Why?
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
Should the defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime.
Yup, that is true.
This is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
As strange as it is, I think this is the right answer and right path. It's just things are going really bad because of it.
Mr. Atmey will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask. Which means he'll be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No way! I don't think that's how Double Jeopardy works.
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atmey's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Wah! So... There's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atmey, will go free!
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. As long as there is no more testimony, I am afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
Yes! Dang it, Phoenix, object!
Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmey.
Objection!
Who? I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you...
Ha! Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. That voice! No way! Long time no see, Phoenix.
Mia!
This is the true power of the Kurain channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, on the stand, under oath, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing. Oh, right. Okay, he must have some connection to Mia, because he was just stunned. He was like, nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer. Oh, Sir Lawyer. It looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Luke Atme. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief!
The last testimony.
Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I can't, okay. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why, the victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. At the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari! Therefore, all evidence points to that poor boy. One sec. This testimony actually seems to hold it pretty well.
Witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents.
It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
One sec. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer?
I will not allow any more of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's serious about this. I feel like it's a one-chance thing.
We cannot postpone Lugami's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec. Just one chance? Huh. It seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it seems. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence, which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Begin your final cross-examination.
I only get one chance, which means... Okay. I want to hear everything, but I guess I might as well try and play the game as intended. Let me save first. He was not at Lord of the Taylor, he admitted that. I had to leave to see to another vitally important job request. Yes, okay. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was that what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. Also able to make the deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. Did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Light was wearing his mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel.
How? Red and blue?
Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Well, I saved, so let's go back to the start and just start pressing. Here we go. Mr. Atme, about this last remark.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Trey? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I know that. There's still one thing you haven't proven. That this scum was in Kane Bullard's office that night, and now... Really? You're not gonna let me... Okay, wow, I didn't see this coming. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna skip forward. I'm glad I saved. Okay, here we go.
I thought I'd be able to look to save scum, but no, that's just I'm not gonna be able to do that. That's gonna be way too tedious. Believe to see a vitally important. It's true. I had to leave a vitally important job request. Okay, I'm gonna save again. The buzzer is not going to be something I can use. He already threw that out by saying that the report went through him, so of course he could use that. The killer sounded it, huh? Yeah. That one's just an assumption.
Objection.
Oh my gosh. Just ignoring it all. Speeding through. We're gonna hit continue again. I'm not trying to do this in Save Scum, but it really seemed like that was the obvious one because he guessed at it. I guess I really am looking for just a flat-out lie. This is annoying. This is really, really annoying. It's not gameplay, it's just frustrating. Wandalite. Ready the deduction was one for me. We're trying to establish motive. But I don't know motive, so press.
Objection.
Okay, time to... I hate this design choice. All you're doing is sending the player back to the main menu to do the same thing they already have been doing. It's not a good idea. It's just irritating. It's so frustrating. It breaks the pacing of the game entirely. Alright, if you're gonna do that, fine. I'm gonna prove to you why it's such a bad idea. Here. I'll do that to every single one of these, and we'll still go through it. About the slash mark. Going through it. This is to prove... I've loved these games all the way up to this point. But this decision is really stupid from a game designer's perspective. It breaks pacing. It breaks the flow of the game. It adds... In an attempt to add tension, all it does is
slow tension. It doesn't add tension at all. Eventually, you just go, fine, I give up. I'm just gonna scum through the entire thing because I can't hear any testimony or get any clues. Hold on. That. Did I do this one? I can't remember if I did or didn't. So I'm gonna do it. Last remark, going through. This is why this is stupid. This is why this is awful game design. The only clue I have is find the point where he's lying in his testimony. With no evidence. Okay, fine. But I don't get multiple chances, I get one. So here, I'm just gonna do this. What they're trying to do here, this game was not designed around. So it just leads to frustrating gameplay. Okay, we're on to the wallet and key card. Again, I think I did this, but let's just do it again, just to prove my point.
Objection.
You remove any sense. In doing this, you remove all, in an attempt to add tension, they have removed all tension and removed any willingness to play according to the game's rules. And now instead of actually trying, I've given up and I'm just going, because like, there's no point in trying. The game's so weird in its leaps in logic that sometimes you just go, okay, fine, I'm just gonna do this. It doesn't give me a chance to think it through. It doesn't give me a chance to ponder. It's just guess. So fine, I'm gonna guess. Your dumb game design is, this is a horrible decision.
Objection.
Okay, still have a few more points to question him on. Let me guess. What's worse is if somebody forgot to save the first time they do this, and the first time they mess up, it sends them all the way to the back, to the last save point. No point usage or anything. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the last thing. So apparently what I have to prove is that he was in the office.
Objection.
That wasn't it. You still don't get— oh, here we go. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. Finally, I got the right one. It was the fact that he was in his mask-to-mask costume. I couldn't remember if— I don't know what it is the guy knows and doesn't know, because he came out like, I read the police report, so I knew that part. It's like, great. What parts does he know and doesn't know? If he knew about the buzzer, how would he not know about the whole mask-to-mask thing? I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? What? Ah, dang it. Now I've forgotten his voice because I'm angry. I'll get back in it. Hold on. Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we? Mr. Atme. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct?
Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry. Whatever do you mean?
For some reason,
I'm starting to get really thirsty.
when exactly did we learn that fact? The fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime.
That was... It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Okay, maybe it's the fact that I played a week long between these games, between these episodes, but I didn't remember that he did that. And that was when he found out. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know about this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that! Hi-ya! You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask! So then enlighten us! Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one? One way, you say?
That was two voices. It was a little tricky for me. Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible!
Doom! Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known that what Ron was wearing.
What?
Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself! Here I am, the tragic clown! That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time.
An awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was, in turn, blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime.
And to that end, he came up with his plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me.
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh! I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be? He's the defendant.
About the verdict.
I know. You never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But I really am Master Mask!
Huh?
So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried for a crime can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent.
Then Master Mask is really innocent?
It would seem so. For now.
For now? Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty.
Boy, this is really lucky. Wait. This isn't so good after all. The thing is, I'm still am Master Mask.
October 14th, 3:35 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah. It's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days.
You mean about becoming the master of the Karain channeling school?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her. Will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia.
Oh, Mr. Wright! I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though. What happened?
Come on, just be happy already! Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot.
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became Master Mask?
Yes, but it's all over now. Broken bowl can never be put back together!
That's not true. Right, Nick? Right. The urn was put back together.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? Kinda wish you would check with me first. I'm pretty sure I know what she means.
Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together.
The sacred urn. Jessie was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything.
Ah, there you are! Mr. Light! You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away.
But didn't you say that you hated criminals?
Hmm? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man.
Okay. She did say that earlier. And he did declare them ahead of time, and then went and was boldly dressed like, ha-ha!
I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? The chivalrous thief. I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Jessie!
Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
Oh, well, take care of yourself.
You too, Nicky boy.
That's a long pause. I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick! Mr. Maya! Congratulations!
I'm about to be punched by a 9-year-old again. Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick! How could you? With another man's wife! In front of Mr. Maya!
No, you got it wrong.
I'll never forgive you! Never! Ever!
Ow. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness.
Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look.
Hey! The urn's back together!
Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before.
Yay!
And they're so happy. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. The end.
Alright. Wow. We ended that at the perfect time.
Maya, why are you dressed as a maid?
There's something with a guy with an eyepiece thing from Dragon Ball Z. A power reader. There we go. I'd honestly love it if they make these real things. Why don't they? Google Glass tried to make something so pretentious with, oh, look, it'll project it on your eye. Like, let's start with just, here's a screen for your face. Or, hey, look, glasses that have LED screens in them. Or some kind of screen. Why don't they do that? Seriously, why don't they? But a brand new episode has been added. Recipe for Turnabout. Who is that in the bottom picture? I'm looking through the dialogue box, so it's a little hard to make out. I wish there was a way to get back into this episode's viewing area. Because that's kind of cool that you can just look at these. I just can't figure out how to get in here. New game doesn't do it. Continue doesn't do it. I don't know. It must be a new character, because I don't recognize her. But she seems like maybe she's wearing the same maid outfit that Maya is. Maybe Maya's undercover. Maybe Maya felt like she needed more money and needed to get a job. Maybe Maya is still hesitant about becoming the inheritor of the Kurain school channeling technique in the new master and is trying to find another way out. I don't know. Could be anything. But here we are. So, it's about time. It's a little early, but not much. So I think now's a good time to wrap it up. So I'm going to wrap it up right now, and we'll pick this up tomorrow, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out, all. Bye-bye.